Good morning from the garden by the sea. Cecile practicing yoga with you. Please can I remind you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet. It's really helpful for me to build up this channel. And now I will offer you a 40-minute dynamic practice. Some asana may be challenging if you've never done them, so remember you are your own teacher and you decide whether sometimes you feel you can push yourself into this posture or you better back off to just build up the strength that you need to master it. I hope you enjoy and please comment. And enjoy the journey onto your mat with your own capacities. So seated onto your mat, we can bring the hands onto the Namaste Mudra to start with. Now we're going to reach up with the arms to the side and forward. So again, finding that movement of reaching up, forward, and to the side. Find the flow with this movement up, forward, and to the side. And again, up, forward, and to the side. Find the extension of your arm all the time you move it. And allow the spine to move with your arms, to not be still, but finding that flow and relaxed body. And then we're going to come on all four and finding our usual curve for the spine as we lift the chest and round back as we push the belly button towards the spine. Connecting with the breath, you're looking at inhaling as you lift from your chest, exhaling as you round the back. Do it a few times and you really just use that movement to keep warming up the body, the spine, moving with the breath, allowing it to travel all around the body. Again, inhale, I lift my chest. Exhale, I push through the arm and I suck the belly in. And this time I'm going to extend my left leg with the toes pointing towards the knee and finding the length as the heel stays sort of in line with the hips and crown of the head. Finding a steady body, and then I bring my knee to my chest and I extend the leg back a few times. Exhale as you extend, inhale as you bring the knee towards the chest and push through your arms. Again, inhale, exhale, extend the leg. Last time, inhale, exhale the leg, and this time look towards the right and point your foot to that side. Don't be shy to point as far as you can towards the side, and then you travel the leg back to the other side and you plant the heel sideways. So from toes to the right to the heel planted on the left. Move that leg and you're going to find the movement of the hip as you open up on both sides. So do it at your pace. And keep moving side to side. And then you're going to keep as the leg as your heel is planted to the side and move up onto your knee. So the leg stays sort of sideways with the tailbone dropping down, and then you're going to move towards your leg, towards that side leg, that you find a stretch with your hip pushing on the other side. So optional, you can decide to lift your foot if you're up for this. If not, just keep straightening and stretching the side body. If you have lift your foot and find it okay, then way more challenging, you can do the same thing but with the other leg straight and lifting the leg. And if this is not coming, then just practice the lift of the leg without the back leg straight, so staying onto your knee with the other leg. And again, just finding that side stretch, and this time we're going to plant the hand to the other side and lift the foot with the toes pointing towards the knee and both arms connected to the same side. So finding that movement of folding towards the leg as the foot is down, and then moving your hand down and lifting the leg. Okay, again, Move to one side and to the other with the lift of the leg. One last time, side stretch and activation of leg and arms. And then come back on all four, and that same leg, still the left leg, we bring it the knee to the chest and we extend the leg few times. Practice again. Inhale, the knee come to the chest, I push through my arm. Exhale, I straighten the leg. And the next time, this time I'm gonna bend the leg so that the sole of the feet is pointing towards the sky. And I'm gonna be looking at bringing my knee forward and, if possible, strengthening the leg forward. If you can't find the space, then keep hugging the knee in, and by doing so, then we will practice to pass the leg through. And as you bend the leg, you're looking at pushing the knee up and finding a sort of back bend as the foot reach up. Okay, so again, pass the leg through if it passes, otherwise hug the knee in. And here, quite challenging, if you're comfortable with the leg straight onto your right knee, you can lift the knee off the ground and pushing through your arms and the left heel. And relax. If you've done it, just move back then with bending that front left leg. And inhale, reach up with your arms as you dive the tailbone down. And again, sweep your arms, reach up, allow the tailbone to drop. Move your arms back and up. And once up, then bring the hands to heart center. Keep gazing up and lift your chest upward with opening your arms if you're comfortable into the back bend. And step back your leg. And we're going to start doing the same onto the other side. So my right leg come extending and bringing the knee to the chest. So extend back and bring the knee to the chest. Inhale, extend, exhale, round the back, push through your arms. And again, find your own pace. Find the movement of squaring your hips as the legs stay lifted. And then bring your foot to the side with planting the toes, and then moving to the other side with planting the heel. So again, find all that circulation of the leg from one side. I point my toes and I plant the heel on the other side. So left side the toes, right side the heel. Be with this movement. Wherever you reach, stay with that. And then plant the foot onto, plant the heel and lift your arms to lean towards the leg as you push the hip to the left, and then you plant your hand sideways and you lift the leg as both arms stays connected on top of each other. Few times from one side to the other. Finding that side stretch as you lean along the leg, and then finding the activation of the body as you lift the leg away from the ground and keep both arms on top of each other. Then, if you're up for a bit of challenge, you can grab the foot trying to lift it off the ground. If it's too much to grab the foot, you can also just hold the side of the leg. And if you've been comfortable in that, then can come the challenge of having that left leg straight as you do the same thing. But if you haven't done it, maybe not start straight away on that one, because it can really be quite challenging. Okay, out of this movement, we're gonna just relax down, staying onto your heel and the leg straight. And then moving back on all four. So just get that leg back. And you're going to bend the leg so that the foot is facing towards the sky and bring your knee into the chest. And if you find the space here, then you can pass the leg through and strengthening the leg. So again, and you're finding a movement of sort of back bending as the leg reach back, bend it. You push the heel as far as you can, and then the knee come into the chest, and maybe you find the length of the leg straight. Okay, and then just staying here with the leg straight forward, and if you're up for another challenge, you can push through your arm and onto that right heel to lift the left knee and hug it to the chest. And if it's not there, don't worry about it, just stay with the leg straight forward. And then plant your foot, so right foot forward, dive the tailbone down as you bring your arms up with a deep inhale. Gaze up, allow the chest to lift towards the sky and circulate your arms open. Back up and back on each side of your foot as you step back your foot to find Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Fingers spread, back and arms straight, looking at having the sitting bone reaching up. And we're gonna bring the right leg up and then the knee to your chest as you move your shoulder on top of your wrist. Few times, again at your pace, maybe 2 times until if you're up for reversing the dog, so you're gonna plant your foot sideways and lift that right hand off the ground. And then come back into your downward facing dog, and the same thing onto the left side. The left leg reach up and then you move forward, shoulder on top of wrist, the knee squeeze into the chest. Again, inhale, extend, and then flip your dog sideways so that left foot is reaching the side. I push my hips up as my left arm hang over me. Back into downward facing dog, back on all four, lowering your knee. And again, finding the movement for the spine of curving and rounding. Again, push through, and this time lift your right leg up, and you can grab the foot with your left arm. Resist the foot into your hand as you lift and reach up for this foot. And then relax and just plant your toes and find the movement of lengthening from top of the head to the heel. And then we're doing the same thing on the other side. So left leg reach up, right arm hold the foot, raise this foot into hand, and then plant your toes into the ground and find the legs from heel to crown of the head, rocking front and back. Tiny little rock, finding the connection for the entire length of the body. And same thing with both legs into a plank position, rocking forward and back. And then you're going to bring your forearms down and diving your chest forward before you find a forearm plank. So forearm parallel, pushing through both forearms, and you can sway your hips side to side, staying onto your tiptoes a few times. Then you're going to be looking at walking your feet forward to find a back as straight as possible. If you're comfortable here, then you're welcome to lift one leg and the other one in preparation for balancing. If you find yourself up for the challenge of balancing into Pinchamarichiyasana, then lift your leg and find the balance. You can take your time to try a few times, and if you don't want to balance, then just keep lifting one leg and the other one, finding the strength onto your forearms to be stable. And if you hold your pincha, just stay focused into pushing strongly through the forearms, and come back when you're ready on all four, finding again our movement of round back anchor for the spine to step out of this balancing pose. And coming into a squat, yogi squat with the hands together. We're gonna release the wrist before doing some more arm balance. So back of the hands together and just find that movement of circulating the hands on both directions. And then strengthen your arms. Stay connecting with your knees onto your upper body. And if you're up for another arm balance, then here's Bakasana with hugging your knees on the highest point along your arm that you can. You're gazing down and you balance your leg up. Up to you whether you want to explore it and do it a few times, or if one is enough or none. And in that case, you can just stay into a squatting position and keep finding the movement for the wrist. And if you're still into Bakasana, maybe the next challenge then will be to find a tripod headstand as you bring the top of the head down, and take your time to find any variation for your leg as you balance onto your head. So maybe you strengthen completely the legs. And if you've been balancing onto the headstand, then try to bring back the legs to find again Bakasana, balancing before you come back into your squat. And finding the release for the wrist as you stay squatted. And bringing your arms up, finding that entire circle as they reach up and forward. Then rolling into your seat, taking hold of your big toes, balancing onto the sitting bones as you point your toes up, look up, and pull onto those big toes to strengthen your legs. Legs apart, keep pulling through the big toes, and legs together. A couple of more time. Feet apart, feet together, keep lifting from the chest, and then lower your legs, keep the arms by your ears, and start rocking onto your lower back as you lean towards the ground and come back up like if you were doing the boat pose, but with hugging your leg toward you actively. So lean back and use the momentum to lift up. Lean back, lift up. And the next time you bring your feet together, holding onto your feet, rounding your back as you fold over your legs. And then moving out of Baddha Konasana, you going to push through your arms and legs to find into a sort of reverse table, lifting the left leg up and bringing the foot onto the opposite thigh. Hugging the knee as you bring the chest towards the leg. You can use your hand behind you to find more activation of the glute. And here another arm balance optional, translated as the grasshopper. So if you keep your foot where it is and manage to hug foot and thigh, you can bring them on top of your forearms. Find that squeezing action of foot and thigh together and balancing onto your left forearm. See how you go, and then relax back onto a reverse table, getting the leg up and hugging the knee toward your head. Straighten the leg, bend the leg. And let's go with the other leg. Straighten the leg and then find the foot rested on top of the opposite thigh. So we're working with the right leg, bend it on top of the left leg. Use your hands to give a good stretch for your glute. And then if you up for an arm balance or just a twist, you can bring your right arm to the side to twist here, which is the preparation for the arm balance. And if you're comfortable, then you're going to lift your bum off the ground. Prepare your arms so that the foot and the thigh stay squeezed in onto that right forearms. And then you can straighten the leg and having the feeling that you're diving down but resisting the crash and holding on into your arm balance. Okay, relax into that reverse table. Push through the legs straight and knee touching at your head. And again, a couple of times before you come back into Malasana, the squat. Again, release your wrist, movement of finger pointing toward you and out, and coming into a forward bend and walking your fingertip forward to curve the spine, and exhaling as you hug the back of the leg. Don't hesitate to bend the leg if you need. And next, slide your hands along your leg to strengthen your back. And then bend your legs and get your arms by your side. Then arms up by your ears. Keep the squat. And from that squat, then come into your standing posture, Tadasana. Arm by your side, relax, shoulder drop. Feeling the feet connected through the ground. Feeling the length of the entire body standing up. And we'll balance next onto the right leg as the left knee come onto your chest, hugged in. And you can just circulate your ankle side to side. And then finding the grip of your foot behind you to balance into Najarasana, the dancing pose. And we won't stay here. We will come back with the foot forward, and if you're up for it, holding the big toe as you lengthen the leg with a vertical body. And then bring the foot sideways. Keep holding the big toes. And then if you're still balancing right, you can go back into Najarasana. Balancing. And a last time. Lifting the leg forward and then sideways. Gazing to the other side. Finishing into a tree pose with the hands by the heart, and then relax your arms on top of you and find that opening arms, and moving into a balancing warrior 3, Virabhadranasana. Then I step my foot forward and I find Trikonasana as a triangle posture with the left leg forward, left arm along the leg, right arm up. And I'm going to reverse Trikonasana, Urdhva Trikonasana. So this time the right arm is along my left leg. And both hands stay together, come out of Trikonasana. And get ready to balance onto your left leg this time. So same thing, we are hugging the knee onto the chest as the ankle circulate from one side to the other. And next one, I will be balancing with holding the side of my foot, allowing my hip to open as I kick my foot up and back. And still balancing, I can hold my waist with the left hand as I straighten my leg forward and then to the side, gazing to the opposite side. One more time, I bring my leg forward and I change the grip to balance into Najarasana. And then back forward, changing the grip, holding the waist with the left hand. legs extending forward and sideways. And then bring the foot into Varkasana, the tree pose, as your hands come relaxed on top of you and sideways. Breathe and enjoy the balance. As your arms move up, you step your right leg forward to find Trikonasana, gazing up, and then top arm meets the bottom one to reverse the triangle pose, Urdhva Trikonasana, still gazing up, planting your feet strongly to keep your balance, and both hands meet at the bottom along the leg to come back up and to step back so that your feet stay together into Tadasana. Reassessing things, finding your body relaxed before we move again into chair pose, Utkatanasana. And as you bring your hands down, if you're up for working toward your handstand, you will be looking at finding some frog jumps, so pushing through your arms to keep your knees hugged in as you jump them out. And so you can do as many as you wish. If you're not up for it, you can stay into downward facing dog or doing downward facing dog to plank. If you're up for the froggy jump, then keep jumping as much as you can feel like you're pushing through your arms to be able to hold those legs up, and relaxing whenever you had enough of frog jumps. And the next jump that we will do, if you're up to go further into your practice of handstand, then is a sort of scissor kick. So you're gonna lift one leg and the other one and trying to balance. So you really want to kick up, finding that same strength onto your arms as you push up. If you lose your balance, just cartwheel behind and come back, and again do it as many times as you can have the energy for it, because this is the only way that will build your possibility to balance onto a handstand without a wall, and finding the strength into your arms, the shoulder online on top of your wrist, you're gazing down at all time. So keep going, left leg first, right leg. If you start finding your balance, keep pointing the feet up and maybe balance. Maybe stay there for a long time. Maybe keep kicking. And when you had enough, then you can come squatting with a rounded back, relaxing arms, legs, hugging your opposite shoulder, and sweeping your arms back into Tadasana. Hands connecting to forehead, reassessing the energy, the intention of your practice, being with your own flow. Whatever you've already done is amazing, and it's a journey onto the mat. Balancing again into Ardha Chandrasana, the half moon posture, onto the right side. So right hand, right leg, balancing, and if you're keen, you can again kick into a handstand if you like to. If not, just come back into a squat, circling the wrist again and again. We never do enough of that. Extending your arms, sweeping your arms behind you and all the way up into Tadasana. Bring the hands to heart center or connecting onto the forehead. Again, feeling the energy before we balance onto the left side. Getting ready for Ardha Chandrasana onto the other side. Left hand, left leg. I keep my right leg extended as my right arm reach up. And if the balance is here, then I can look up. If you want another handstand, then both hands down and you kick. You can do a scissor kick, balancing with the legs apart, or bringing the legs together and finding your head handstand. If not, we can meet all into a forward bend, this time with hugging the back of your legs, bending of the legs that you can feel that connection, chest and thigh, and relaxing here. And if you think you didn't have enough kick handstands, then go for it one more time. I've done it so many times before mastering it, so maybe that's your feeling and you want to kick again. Go for it. Kick, balance, maybe hold your handstand, push through your arms, and find that tricky alignment into the handstand. And if not, keep kicking, it will come, I promise. And once you've done a few more extra kick, then again rest onto forward bend, maybe hugging the back of the legs. And once you've relaxed enough, you can find a seated position onto your mat. And we're gonna circulate the torso around our tailbone, so just moving the back sideways, forward and back as you wish, really, in both directions. And then keep your feet down to the mat, hold onto your thigh and run your back and lift from your chest. Full action of running and strengthening the spine. And then lean forward as the feet fall into each other and straighten one more time the back. Bring the arms overhead and grab the right leg, pulling toward you as you keep the left leg lifted away from, slightly off the ground. Both legs straight and you hold on. Other leg, pull that leg. Maybe find a twist as you extend your right arm sideways. Same thing on the other side. Grab the leg, twist your torso. And then get back the legs down and fall over the legs. Maybe grab your feet or maybe just relax with your hands and arms wherever you can reach, allowing your back to run over the legs. And then bring your hands by your hips and push so that you can lift your hips off the ground. And if you're comfortable, then you can sort of sway the hips up and back to find the strength again onto the shoulder as you drop the shoulder down when you push through the arms to lift the hips. A few times, sway those hips back and forward, and then stay into a forward bend. And bend your right leg and rub the leg with your arms behind you, maybe binding and allowing the forehead to drop toward the left leg. And grab that same foot with your right hand and push the knee behind you. Find the opening of the hips. And bring your foot in half lotus. Right hand goes behind your back, maybe find the foot as you lean forward, left hand grabbing your left foot. And if you can't bind behind, never mind, just keep your arm around into your back as you lean forward. And when you're ready, switch side. Left leg folded this time. Extend the left arm to find the hugging action of the left arm around that left knee. If you bind, then you can lean forward And then lift your foot, grab the foot with that same hand and push the knee behind you. And bring the foot into half lotus with your left arm coming into your back, maybe grabbing the foot and leaning forward. Strengthen your back. And out of it, you're going to keep your left leg bended and leaving the right leg sideways and leaning toward that straight leg. So again, you're pushing your hip to the opposite side. Maybe you grab the foot, maybe not, it doesn't matter. Just allow a side stretch. And then moving forward and see if you can lift your bum out of the ground. Or maybe you would use your hands to push the ground, or maybe this is just not coming yet and you give the direction, the intention of moving forward. If you have lifted, then you can balance to the other side so that you come with the right leg bent this time and left leg straight. Same thing, we're gonna lean toward the left leg, so pushing the hips on opposite side and maybe grabbing the foot with your arm. If not, just leave the arm overhead and sort of relaxed. And then again here, see if you can move forward, leave the bum of the ground. If yes, play with this and go from one leg to the other, shifting the weight, staying as low as you can, doing maybe a couple of times on each side. And if you still balancing, then you can bring that left leg straight forward and maybe hold it with the foot, holding the foot with your hands and finding here that range of action for the leg forward and sideways. And same thing with the other leg on the other side. Move the foot forward, grab it with your hands and play, finding side and forward, pulling gently with your hands. And stay low, squatting, both feet parallel this time. Our last arm balance if you like. If not, you can just hug, like if you were sitting onto your arms. If you want to balance, then you keep the action of hugging your legs onto your arms as you push through the arms to lift your leg. And really that pose, Titibhasana, you can prepare with hugging your legs into your back and then pushing your arms and lifting the feet. And just find the lightness of lifting your body. Then you get back into the ground, keep the legs lifted before you drop them down and lean your torso forward wherever you go. And stay here for a few breaths with the intention of bringing the torso forward. And bring back your legs together. Toes pointing toward you. And then when you're ready, bend your knees and lie on your mat to hug the knees in. Starting relaxing the lower back onto the mat and just circling your knees and massaging the lower back. Then you can also rock up and down, rolling onto the spine. And again, finding the movement of circling the knees and all the feet around, which will engage more of the core strength if you do with legs straight. But just whatever is your energy now, decide to adapt and to do what you feel like. And then you can roll your knees up toward your face to start finding a shoulder standing with ideally keep your arms onto the ground, but if it's too much, then just adapt and bring your hands onto your back to push the back up and roll as much as you can onto your shoulder. And then lower your legs, maybe find your toes touching the ground over your head. You can get your feet apart, still over leg, and then together, and bend your legs as the knees come on each side of your ears. And rest here. Finding the breath circulating into this awkward position, breathing. And slowly moving out of it, resisting the temptation to rolling out of it quickly. Take your time, move back into a seat. And this time, find the lotus legs position if it's available for you. If not, you might be looking at just crossing the legs, which will be a bit more challenging to balance onto your shoulders. So you roll onto your shoulder with the Padma Asana legs, so lotus legs. And here you're looking at pushing your hands onto your knee so that you feel the shoulder pushing into the ground and balancing here. Can be a tricky balance, and if you balance, and stay here for one breath and then hug your knees with maybe binding your hands around your legs. And once you've done, relax, drop your legs still into the lotus movement, and get the top of your head into the ground before you free your legs. Keep the top of your head pressing the ground. Straighten your legs and arms pointing up. And then relax your arms overhead, feet folding into each other, into Supta Baddha Konasana. Breathing, relaxing, enjoying. Straighten your legs and walk legs and arms towards the right, finding a stretch onto your left side. Back to center, walk the legs and the arms towards the left, finding the stretch on your right side. Breathing, creating space, lifting the right leg, pulling the leg towards you, keeping the left leg down, and then dropping the leg sideways as you gaze to the left. The leg is onto the right. And then you move the leg on the other direction and just leave the hand on top of that leg. So it's crossing on the other leg. Looking to the right this time. And release the leg and do the same thing on the other side. Pull the leg forward first. Then drop it low and sideways. Make sure your hips stay onto the ground, mostly the right hip. And then move the leg across on the other side. Breathing, enjoying. Integrating already all what we've done. And when you're ready, you're gonna roll onto your belly and see how you feel here and now. If you're up for a last headstand, then go for it. If not, you can stay into a child pose while the other will be practicing the headstand, with the idea of holding the headstand for quite a few breaths. So if you're still beginner into your headstands, then do the work that you're doing for getting ready onto the headstand. And if you're balancing already, find the comfort of staying into your headstand, allowing all the organs to drop towards the head, free them inside as we balance and breathe comfortably into the head. If you're still comfortable holding, then we will lower the legs halfway only, so keeping the legs straight with the heel pointing, and then pointing your feet and finding the legs parallel to the ground and bring them back up before you lower them. And once you lower, take your time to stay into a child pose, forehead down, allowing all the blood flow to come back down. It's been all into the head. So breathe. Just feel all what is happening inside. Start relaxing. And you can stay here as long as you want, or you can already lie into your shavasana, onto your back, and obliging yourself to take even 1 minute into shavasana. After this strong sunshine and challenging maybe practice, we deserve some good rest, allowing the body to melt down, to connect to that energy of fire that we've been firing up. And not judging your practice, not being disappointing by anything, but grateful for all what you've done. This was From the Garden by the Sea with Cecile. Hope you enjoy this practice. Please let me know how you went, and if there is any other ideas that you would like that I can put up in a new video. I wish you a great rest of your day wherever you are, and I hope you stay connected with your own needs and feelings for all what you do and all what you are. Thank you so much. Namaste.